Union busting is big, big business in the United States, and there's a massive $340 million industry fighting against workers' rights. This $340 million that they came up with is probably so understated because they can only follow so much about how all this takes place. But this fund of money, it's what I find is interesting about this story, Farron, is they finally figured out that the union busting business, they're using the same old tactics: intimidation, firing, closing stores, personal attacks. But now they've come up with this, they call it the new language of union busting. They've hired these law firms, Jones Day, for example. You know, go first of all, go read the book about Jones Day. It's an awful, awful law firm. But they represent corporate America. You know, if there's something ugly to be done, bring in Jones Day. Jones Day are the people that are they head this kind of thing up. But talk about that new language, the new way that we're going to talk about union busting.
Yeah, it's, we're a family. They're trying to invoke, and Starbucks is one of the worst with this, because Starbucks likes to pretend we're this big progressive group. We love diversity. We love, different people. So how could you say that we are treating you unfairly? We're family. We're brothers and sisters here. We love you and we take care of you. We're doing so many good things. So it's that almost guilting you into thinking, well, I can't go against my family here. And so they're psychologically manipulating these people. And they hire these psychologists to help them craft the language and learn how to manipulate these people. It's truly disturbing.
One thing that you're going to, all these folks that are new immigrants from Guatemala and Mexico, you're putting their lives in danger because they're coming here to the United States to get a job. And you doing this, you're interfering with that new worker that's a part of the new workforce. You're interfering with their ability to send that money. It's stuff like that. And it's coming out of people. I mean, you know what the embarrassing thing about this? The American Bar Association. Of course, I'm not a member. I don't have any allegiance to it. People don't understand. In the lawyering business, there's the American Bar Association that is represented. They represent corporate America. All the silk stocking, the Jones Day types, the big silk stocking law firms. And then on the other side, you have a group, the trial lawyers. It's an organization almost separate and apart because it's almost like that polarization of the two. But the American Bar Association is really big into this, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. They've actually teamed up with the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, and their whole big thing is trying to undo, one of the few good things Obama did. He put in new rules to kind of strengthen the National Labor Relations Board with overtime pay and things like that, so that a bar association, along with the Chamber of Commerce, have joined their evil forces together to fight all of these things. They're spending huge money on lobbying, reaching out to these law firms that are already a part of the ABA and trying to get it all undone just so corporations can squeeze more out of the workforce.
And the American Bar Association has more folks that are heading up that effort. It's embarrassing to me. I mean, I have no kinship with the American Bar Association at all. So the point is this: it's that language that's so nauseating to me. We're a big family. Let's be kind to each other. Just if you do this, how about Joe who works, he's working nights, he's trying to go to college, you're going to ruin his life. They have figured out, because, as you say, they've focused it. And they've focused and say, how can we make these people feel guilty? Let's go ahead and borrow woke language. Okay, that's let's borrow woke language and let's use it against these folks. And Amazon, they're masters of it. Starbucks is masters of it. And it's amazing to me that all the corporations now, that's the route that they're going.
And the consultants, the lobbyists, the lawyers, and the psychologists, they hold seminars for these corporations to attend to learn how to do this. It is an industry in and of itself, and nobody even really knows it's being operated.
Love speak. Learn how to do love speak to destroy a union, the awful people who are trying to put together a union. Love speak. Let's be kind to each other. Nancy Pelosi's daughter says that the former House Speaker had an exorcism performed on her home over Thanksgiving. So I had to, the first time I saw this story, I know I sent it to you and I said, Farron, is this right? is this true? We still don't know that it's true, but it's sure being reported. The daughter said this is what happened. Pick it up from there.
The daughter, Christine Pelosi, I believe, or Alexandra Pelosi, excuse me, she tells the New York Times that, Nancy was riddled with guilt over the husband getting attacked at the home. So she is Catholic. She calls up the Catholic priest and says, hey, it's probably the house, I guess, that's got the evil spirits. I would like for you to come and perform an exorcism on my home. And then again, this is according to Alexandra Pelosi. So the alleged exorcism took place possibly over Thanksgiving, although they did reach out to the local priest, I guess, who's supposed to be Pelosi's priest, and they said, no, I didn't go perform an exorcism. So we don't know if it happened, but the daughter says it did.
Yeah.
So we have to take her at her word.
Okay, truthfully, let's be fair about it. Her husband is brutally attacked, with a hammer.
Yeah.
Still recovering. She's not in the house. She feels guilty about it. And, some of these folks said, look, you don't need an exorcism. You need some psychiatric care. You need some counseling. So that's the other part of it. It's a sad but weird story. I guess that's the way to describe it.
It is. And so, if we listen to what the daughter says, she felt tremendous guilt.
Yeah.
That is the kind of thing you talk about that with the counselor, with the therapist.
Not an exorcism.
And with your husband, and y'all work through that together. You're both in your golden years. You may not have a lot of time. You don't want to live with it forever.
I'm mixed on. It's a sad story. She's the end of her career. Her husband's almost killed. I don't know whether he has residual brain damage. I have no idea. But she's watching him go through this, and she's so desperate. She says, we need an exorcism. And she really needs counseling, is what everybody else suggests here. But let's hope it ends well, okay?
Yeah.
Is that still a thing? Exorcism, we all saw The Exorcist. Is that still a thing? Are Catholics still doing that?
Apparently it is. And, we've actually, I've covered stories plenty of times of these. Usually it's on the right. You'll get these Republican groups say, we're going to perform an exorcism of this, we're going to perform an exorcism of that. And it's just total kind of nutballery to me, if we can make up that word.
Let's do an exorcism, if it's a thing, exorcism office to office in Washington, D.C. Let's perform those kinds of exorcism.